The House of Representatives has criticized the Central Bank of Nigeria for its decision on the validity of old and new Naira notes. Mr. Victor Ogene, speaking in Abuja, questions the CBN's lack of clarity after the Supreme Court's recent ruling failed to set a specific deadline for the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira notes to cease being legal tender. On October 24, the House passed a motion urging the CBN to clarify that old notes would not be valid from January 1, 2025. However, Ogene acknowledged an error in the motion as the Supreme Court's directive allows both currency versions to circulate concurrently. And he criticized the CBN's response to the House resolution as dismissive and questioned the practicality of running an economy with two versions of currencies. He also raised concerns about the poor condition of currency notes dispensed by banks, which causes losses for citizens, and urged the CBN to fulfill its regulatory responsibilities to the public. All right, let's get your thought on this whole talk and motion by the House of Representatives.
You know, when the use of a thing is not known, abuse becomes very inevitable. When I say abuse becomes very inevitable, most of these lawmakers, sorry, some of them don't even know why they are there. I'm not sure they even know their core functions very well. If not, one of them wouldn't have threatened somebody that he would make the person disappear. So I believe that these are still the same set of people who are sending as legislators and representatives. For crying out loud, there's a Supreme Court ruling on that. The CBN is supposed to be the financial regulatory body of the country where they set up our fiscal policies and monetary policies. And it's not the function of the National Assembly. All the National Assembly needs to do is to go there on oversight function and not to stay in the National Assembly and make laws for them. After all, in America, the dollar, they have the 206 version. There's still the 2000 version, and all are running concurrently. And there's a way they even want to withdraw this money from the system. So it's not something that you set a terminal date. If you set a terminal date, you're sending a very wrong signal.
So you're saying they can't withdraw this without even informing Nigerians or setting a date and saying, go submit your monies in the bank?
They can do it systematically. Why I say they can do it systematically? These funds comes from the customers to the commercial banks, from the commercial bank to the Apex Bank. And it's only the Apex Bank that issues currency. So if the Apex Bank gets those old currencies, they might decide to keep them apart and inject new currency into the system. So before you know what's happening, it's just the system is taking its course, and without anybody knowing what's happening.
Then if it can be done that seamlessly, why wasn't it done earlier?
I believe that the reps member doesn't even know why he's in the House of Reps. If not, he shouldn't dabble into monetary policies.
But he's not the only one complaining about this. If Nigerians are talking about a thing, don't you think their representatives should speak for them?
Well, they should speak, but it's not even going about it the right way or the proper way. Saying some of things like this on national TV sends a wrong signal into the economy and Nigerians. You know, Nigerians are always used to this panic situation. Before you know, it spreads like wildfire. Because
they even mentioned a date earlier, but they had to come up and say, oh, it was a mistake. And it was a laughable situation at that time.
That's why I say there is no synergy, or even the reps doesn't even know why he's there. There are some things you say, you need to consult widely. You don't just say them on public domain because you want to make news or you want to make name. Because you must think about the rippling effect. Okay.
But Nigerians are asking why we have two of the same note. Why do we have 1,000 Naira two? We have the old and the new. We have the old and the new 500 Naira. We have the old and the new 200 Naira. And people are even mixing these things. Some people have still not gotten used to it till now.
Anyway, it's the Nigerian factor. Let me say it on a rather sarcastic. After all, we have two national anthems.
No, we don't have two national anthems. We have a national anthem. The Nigerians have refused. They said it's not their national anthem. They have refused to embrace it.
It's the old one. that was brought back,
and then
it becomes a new.
Yeah, so that's the new
and
one
the
now.
New became the old.
Exactly, and the people have said we have only one, and they have functions. They have functions, and they still recite the old one.
The old one.
So we call it the old one now. Do we call it the old one? But they still recite the one they want to recite. So that's quite funny.
It's very funny.
And we have two events in one country in a day, and one singing one national anthem, another is singing another national anthem. But this, even though it's on the lighter note, it tells a lot about our unity. It tells a lot about the ideology. It tells a lot about the people and the leadership. So it looks like these are two individuals.
For me, as a people, our problem has never been the anthem. Our problems are policies. That's our basic problem. But
that's still what it shows. The anthem was released, and then leadership summits and such meetings where our leaders meet, they sing the national anthem, the old one which has become new. they sing the Nigeria We Hail Thee national anthem, right? But then the people on the other side have said that is not our national anthem. So we will sing what we want to sing. That's the division I'm drawing your attention to.
Yes.
And like you have said, policies now, that division still shows in those policies. Because you see policies, people would say it's not people-oriented, but it is for certain people. And that is still bringing about the division.
Our problem in Nigeria, the basic problem is hunger. Not until hunger is addressed, unity is elusive. Because it's natural, a hungry man is an angry man. Except you address hunger, then the man will now reason.
So every other policy and everything the federal government is saying right now, you're not listening. They just want hunger to be addressed. But Nigerians also have to be told that for hunger to be addressed, there are certain steps that will be taken. And that's why you need to also pay attention to these steps that are being taken, because they will affect your stomach at the end of the day, since the problem is hunger.
I've always told people Nigeria is like a patient that is either in cancer or that is in coma. You don't take someone who is in coma into theater for surgery. You need to stabilize the person before you put the knife on the person. If you take someone who is in coma into the theater, you're killing the person. So for some of these policies to even thrive, first, hunger needs to be addressed.
And I wonder
and the
how
kind of hunger that needs to be addressed is not about spoon-feeding people.
Okay, it's not palliative.
It's not palliative.
Okay.
It's not palliative.
Then what
the basic problem we have is rising cost of goods and services on daily basis. In fact, I was even talking with a friend the other day. So she doesn't even make list before going to the market. All she needs to do is to go with her ATM card. Because the same price which you bought last week, you'll be shocked that when you get to the market today,
the price you got it yesterday will not be the price you get it the next day.
Then the next question we need to ask, what is the basic cause of this high cost of goods and services? Once we address those things, the prices of goods and services will drop. Then we now talk about unity of a country.
As someone said that the unifying factor right now is hunger.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. That for the fact that we're privileged, we work, we're able to pay some bills. You even discover today that your salary cannot even, those days they say take home salary, but now it's no longer take home. You cannot even take it to your junction.
So it can't take you home anymore. That is very sad. And that's why my heart always goes out to the people.